Well, hello, dear prayer partners and friends. Pastor Wolfgang coming to you once again from Christ the King Lutheran Church in Cary, North Carolina. I'm coming to you on Friday, January the 15th, which is the actual birth date of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was born on this date in 1929, so he would have been 82 this year. And, you know, if he hadn't been assassinated in 1968, at age 39, he could still be alive today and bless us with his wisdom and his insights. But even though he's been gone all these years, we do have his wisdom and insights in his writings. And today I want to tell you a little bit about the last book he wrote. It was his fourth and last book, and it's entitled Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? Dr. King wrote this book in 1967. In fact, that year in January and February, he went to Jamaica for a kind of a vacation slash sabbatical. He rented a secluded house that didn't even have a telephone. You know, in those days, that's a little bit like today. You check out of Facebook and social media and email and take a sabbatical from that. That's what he did. And he really spent a lot of time thinking and assessing and writing the first draft of this book while he was there. At that point, you know, the civil rights movement had really come quite a long way over the previous decade. In fact, 64, 65, that's when you get the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, some crowning achievements of the movement. And Dr. King was thinking about, well, where do we go from here? What's next? Where are we? Where have we come from? And what's next? Where are we going? And I think the central insight of this book really was that black people, African Americans, were not going to be able to improve their conditions unless the economic conditions of the whole country were improved. That is, unless there was a radical shift and change in economic policy in the country for everyone, not just for people of color. And you know, his thinking really evolved at that point to talk about economic justice as a prerequisite almost for political justice and for freedom for all people. I think we would do well listening to him today. I mean, I just find a lot of parallels between the time then and the time now. I think we are at another one of those pivotal moments, at one of those, you know, inflection points where we have a choice to make. Do we want to continue on the way of chaos? Are we going to deteriorate further as a divided country, or are we going to change directions and really reform the society for the benefit of all people, particularly those who've been suffering, who've been discriminated against, who've been treated in an unequal way? It's kind of sad that we talk about this on this particular weekend. I mean, we're going into the MLK weekend. The holiday is on Monday, but we are also facing the threat of violence this weekend and in the week to come. After the insurrection in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, it seems likely that there is going to be more upheaval and more attacks, not just in Washington on the day of inauguration, but maybe also in the state capitals. I mean, the security alerts are on high and in the red zone all over the country, and it's kind of a sad commentary of where we are, divided as we are, with a significant segment of our population operating out of a lie, out of a falsehood, that the election was in fact stolen and was unfair, which is not the case. So, just like Dr. King said in 1967, we have a choice to make, you know, more chaos or building community. And by community, of course, Dr. King meant a community of justice and peace, a community built on economic equality. That was the point of that book and the speech he then made, also entitled, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community. And again, that is so relevant to today. I mean, if the coronavirus pandemic has shown us anything, it has laid bare the incredible and growing inequality in our country. You know, the rich have gotten richer in this pandemic, and the people who have suffered the most are those who are at the bottom of the economic ladder. You know, the restaurant workers and the frontline grocery store clerks and people in jobs that were already low paying and then that disappeared by the millions. So are we going to continue to be an unequal society with a growing gap between rich and poor? Or are we finally going to shift our focus and make a change, a radical change, as Dr. King would have envisioned, and become a society that is more equal, more just for all people, black and white? So that's what we are praying about this weekend and this week. On Sunday, we have a interfaith celebration that will originate here from Christ the King. It'll be on our YouTube channel. ctkcarry.com/live is the easiest way to get it. And we hope you will join us Sunday afternoon at 3:30. We will be hearing Christian, Jewish, and Islamic voices. We will be celebrating Dr. King's legacy with preaching, with presentations, with music. And I think we'll have a good celebration and a good time, and we hope you'll join us. So as we go into this weekend, as we go into this week, I pray for safety. I pray for blessing. I pray that God be with all of us in this country and in this world as we anticipate many changes, hopefully for the better. God bless you. Take care.